Hi everyone, Catherine here from Inky Fingered Cat. Back with Christmas in July. Now I was asked to do fun folds. When I asked the question of people, what do you want me to do in Christmas in July, in a video way back when, someone said fun folds. I'm not a big fun fold person. I find them quite stressful. I find them quite difficult. And I will admit, this was already my second go. I'd already spent 15 minutes making a card. I did it wrong on the mechanism, and so yeah, we're back to square one on this part of the video. So what am I doing? You need two card blanks that are the same size. In my case, I went by 5.5 by 5.5. One of them I just trimmed a tiny little slither off each side to make it a tiny bit smaller, and that is the one that I did the Mountain Valley fold with it. So you'll see the slither there that I cut off. And then I put my trimmer to one side. I have kept it quite slow at this point because obviously, you know, we need to understand what we're doing. So I have folded the card blank in half, and then I folded the front bit back by half and the back bit back by half. And then we have a mountain and valley fold. Now I find this next bit easier to just put my, to glue my front panel of pattern paper or whatever you're using to decorate it. Can you see how I did the 4 lines and then I did a little diagonal across each of the corners? The reason being is I'm going to use a die to die cut out the middle. Okay, and I don't particularly want that paper stuck to the die cut circle. It'll all become obvious as we go along. If indeed you've already seen the thumbnail, you know what it's going to look like vaguely. Okay, so I have die cut the front of my panel out. Now you could use any shape as long as it's going to be, symmetrical on either side. Now, this is me trying to work out what is it I do again with the mechanism. And I get it wrong at first, so don't take any notice of this. And I know I've done it wrong, that's why I pause with my pencil. And I think, right, well, what is it I do then? Is it that? No, it's not that. So I'll go and look at my instructions again, and I remember that that's the circle that's going to go through there. Still figuring it out. And this is why I don't do fun folds, people. There are people out there who are brilliant at them. It's not me. Not me. I know that back panel is going to sit against the back panel, and that's fine. So what am I doing with this other half? I am going to cut out the extra bits. So once I've worked out where it's going, and I will explain it more in a minute, what you need to do is mark where your aperture is, and then you need to trim off that panel, leaving a sort of a little tab on the top and the bottom that's going to be hidden. Again, don't worry about how this is being positioned right at this moment because I know I'm going to change it. So it's not right at this moment. That's not how it's going to go. Oh, it is how it's going to go. Ignore me. Right. So I have my red line tape. I'm also going to use a little bit of wet glue because that gives me some wriggle room in case I go wrong. I've peeled these off, and now I'm just working out, where do these go? Do they go like that? Or do they go somewhere else? And I'm just wet glue, and then I'm going to fold it over. So hopefully I'm going to tip this up to the camera so you can see at this point. So I've got those 2 tabs going in towards the middle, and then I've got it folded over so that this back panel, I'm just going to put some adhesive on this. Again, I'm going to do wiggle room as well as the red line, which is really secure, and some tape runner just in case, I want it to be secure. Now that I've worked out this is how it works. And then I'm going to fold that back over, and that is now my mechanism is done. Hopefully that was clear as mud. Hopefully that makes sense. Right, so I am going to say this is called a swing fold card, or at least that's what I was taught. My lovely friend Valerie taught it me. I haven't made one for years, so this took some doing to get to this point in the video. By this point, I have made a card that's not a Christmas card, just as a practice go. I've then attempted to do it on video and gone wrong, and then this is my 3rd attempt where Oh, and I made some mistakes on the other card. It'll get shared on the vlog at some point, but I didn't bother videoing it because I knew I was going to do it wrong. I'm also reading all the instructions I've written, and I'm still not quite getting there. Right, the circle that was die cut out the middle, ideally you want it to be just slightly smaller than the aperture. What you could do with this is a really good set of nesting dies. I've got those nesting dies that I've got on screen, those silver ones, are exactly the right size, but they're cheap, awful dies, and they are not brilliant. But they do the job. And that, you're then going to stick only half of it through the aperture, and you're going to stick it so that it's just attached to the hinge part of the mechanism that's on the inside. And that then is your swing fold. And now you can decorate it however you like. As I say, I find it easier when I'm die cutting the aperture to die cut at the same time on the front panel rather than die cutting and hope I can line it up. I quite like doing it with a circle die, but I have done them with square dies as well. I think I've done it with an oval, maybe, but it needs to be so that you can have it symmetrical down the fold line, basically, so that it'll go through the hole. So I decided on this one that I'm going to add in some panels on the inside, using up some of the pattern paper and also a panel of the white so that there's somewhere to write. I decided not to decorate the inside, but now I'm going to decorate the outside. So I'm going to start speeding up the video soon. Here we go. Got into fast forward now. Because this is just decorating now, and this is like a normal video. Now I've done that complicated stuff of explaining my fun fold, which I did not explain very well, but hopefully you can follow it. Maybe put the video into silent and then slow it down, and you might be able to work out what I'm doing. Dimensions wise, my card is 5.5 by 5.5, but it will work with any size of card. Ideally square, but doesn't have to be. I'm pretty sure you can make it as not a square card. I'm now questioning that in my own head. This is why I'm not an engineer of any description and I have no idea. So quickly, for decoration, I went dead simple. I used that woodware deer. Sorry, this is me now moving on to bonus card. But yeah, I used the woodware deer and then I used the Spellbinders stickers. Kept it dead simple. Right, this is the card where I'd gone wrong, and as you can see, I've glued at the wrong points, etc. So I am just going to cover up that with a panel of pattern paper, which then shows through my circle. I've then got this die cut circle scrap, which I'm just going to add, and I'm going to add this die cut frame that was the slither off the circle that I did use in my mechanism on my actual card. And then I'm just going to keep it dead simple. Added some of those puffy stickers from Spellbinders. I think that was it. Oh, I did go and add some white on the inside and another scrap of the pattern paper just to use it up because it was on the desk. And this was just a little bonus card. It's not, you know, it's not really what I was there to do. I then did add some of the, oh, that was my daughter saying hi. Yeah, I did add a couple of the card candies, and that was it really. So that's my bonus one, just using up the dregs of the bit that did not work for my card, but you know, hey ho, there is the final card. So I hope that satisfied whoever asked for fun folds. You're not going to get another one from me. It's just not likely to happen. I have done other fun folds previously for Christmas. I've done things like the one where you score it about an inch in from the left-hand side and then you secure that bit. I think it's called a book fold, something like that. But generally, I don't do fun folds, especially not for Christmas cards. I find them too complex for me. So, I hope you did, however, like this. Please do consider subscribing. There is still some Christmas in July to come. Until next time, bye!